Well, good morning and happy Advent. As our Advent pilgrimage continues, we continue to unpack the visitation as Mary left in haste from the Annunciation to the hill country of Judah. She, of course, is visiting Elizabeth, who the angel Gabriel has confirmed has conceived in her old age. Yesterday, we looked at what was it that Elizabeth said to Mary. How is it that Elizabeth greeted Mary? And today we look at how is it that Mary greeted Elizabeth? What is it that poured forth from the heart of Mary as she saw Elizabeth? And of course, that's Mary's great Magnificat. And the Magnificat begins with Luke chapter 1, verse 46, as Mary says, "My soul magnifies the greatness of the Lord." How is it that Mary and her soul can magnify the greatness of the Lord? Certainly, Mary in her human nature is not greater than God. Certainly, Mary's nature is not greater than the nature of God. A human being can't be greater than God. So how is it that Mary and her soul can magnify the greatness of the Lord? Well, to understand how Mary's soul can magnify the Lord, perhaps we can take a trip out west. Father Scott Trainer, a dear friend of mine who's the rector at St. John Vianney Seminary in Denver, Colorado, has often painted the scene of Echo Canyon, which is nearby the seminary in Colorado. Echo Canyon, one of his favorite places to go. Echo Canyon because it's perfectly shaped by God. Over the time, the wind has shaped the canyon itself, that you can stand in Echo Canyon and you can speak a spoken word and it will echo, it will reverberate perfectly throughout the canyon, and it will echo higher and higher and higher as the sound travels. You can stand in Echo Canyon, you can speak a soft word, and the canyon, because it's shaped to do so, will take the spoken word and actually, quote unquote, magnify it as it echoes that word with stronger reverberation throughout the canyon. The canyon itself is not greater than the human, nor is the canyon itself greater than the word that's spoken in it. But because the canyon is shaped in a certain way, it's perfectly crafted by God as such, it can receive the spoken word and it can magnify it. It can make it louder and louder. There's a perfect echo in Echo Canyon. Likewise, within Mary's heart, there is a perfect echo. Mary's soul, her heart is shaped just like Echo Canyon. It's shaped perfectly by God. As we celebrated her Immaculate Conception just yesterday, we know that Mary's soul, conceived without original sin, is designed by God to perfectly receive the word that was given to her in the Annunciation, as well as the Word made flesh. And her soul does magnify God because there's a perfect echo. Mary's soul is not better than God, but because she receives the Word of God in her soul, she magnifies God by perfectly echoing back to God what was spoken to her. Let me give you an example. You and I were made by God for God. That's what our souls are made for. Isaiah 43, 1-7 reminds us that God calls us by name, that we are His, and that He loves us. So when God says, "Hey, I love you, you are my creation," our souls are supposed to echo back to God, "Yes, I am your beloved, I am your created." When God speaks to us and says, "I am faithful to you and I will lead you," our souls are supposed to echo back to God, "Yes, God, you are faithful and you will lead me." God says something to us, He speaks His word to us. Our souls are supposed to echo back to God perfectly that which He says to us. Mary does magnify the Lord because her soul echoes back to God that which He said. However, a lot of times our souls don't magnify the Lord the way Mary's does. Our souls don't magnify God. They don't echo back to God. If you alter the shape of Echo Canyon, it won't echo the same way. And if our souls, you might say, are quote unquote altered or cluttered or wounded, then oftentimes what happens is God speaks a word to us. Hey, I love you. You're my creation. You are mine. And what is reverberated back to God is, no, I'm not. I'm not your beloved. I'm unworthy of your love. There's no perfect echo back to God because our hearts are either cluttered with sin or cluttered with the world or wounded, and they don't echo back to God. They don't magnify God the same way Mary's does. How's your echo these days? How's your heart doing? Is it free like Mary's was? Or has it over time, been wounded or hurt along the way? Let's take a couple seconds today and reflect upon our echo. Let's take a couple seconds today and spend some time with Mary. Listen to her sing her Magnificat to Elizabeth. Listen to her pronounce those words that her soul magnifies the Lord. Spend some time today with Mary. Get to know her echo and ask her to reveal to you about your echo. God bless.